Hi, this is Del Sweet. Thank you for listening to this podcast.
Hi, this is Amy Adams. Welcome to the podcast, read by me, written by Del Sweet. Copyright 2020, all rights reserved in their entirety. Episode 12. Candace, March 9th. I saw him. I know there is this other person just across the river. It was while we were on the way back, and I happened to look back across the river from the rail trestle, and there he was by the riverbank. Climbing it? I think so. But why? And how can I say it was the same man that belonged to the footprints? I can't. I feel it, though. I believe it was him. Who else could it have been? I wanted to go back right then. Tom refused. There was no reason for him to refuse, but he did. We argued about it. Really argued. I hadn't realized, or really even thought about what it is about Tom that I don't like. Maybe a better way to say that is, what keeps me away from him? Why didn't I, in all this destruction, hopelessness, just fall into his arms, or love, or whatever would pass for love in this world? Isn't that logical? Shouldn't I have? But I didn't. And the reason is that he's got this attitude about what place a woman has in his world. It came out today when we argued. I think that I picked it up subconsciously before that, though, and that's what kept me away from him. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm leaving in the morning to go over there and find the man that I saw. I know that sounds crazy. I know it does, but I'm going. I'm getting up at sunrise and I'm going. Jan and Bob said they would go with me. If Tom doesn't want to go, he doesn't have to. We're not speaking at all. Lydia seems upset by that. She wants him, but not at my expense. I guess that makes me like her a little more than I did. I was outside until way after dark, looking for firelight on the other side of the river. I didn't see any at all. I don't know that area, though. Maybe I wouldn't see a fire over there. Maybe he is being careful. I want to know so much. When will I know it? Mike, March 10th. Probably. Another long day. More trips back and forth to the supermarket. The days are definitely longer, but so are the nights. I don't see how that can be, but it is. I have no real way to judge it. It's just kind of a gut feeling. I found several watches up by the checkouts. None of them work either. But I know it's true. I feel the longer days. I feel the longer nights. That's all I can say. A few days back, I became sure that the days were even longer, and that's changed. They're not as long as that, but still longer than they used to be, or should be. And I was thinking, who are you? I know that's kind of dumb, but you are somebody, right? And you're reading this, right? And how far away is it in time? Place? Do you know who I am? Or did you just find this and begin reading it? Have you been through this too? Is it over and explained? For all I know, no one is here to read this. I can't really believe that, though. Man, I really can't. Won't. It's the only reason I'm writing this, so that someone, you, will know who I am, and that I made it, at least this far. And as I go along, I hope to get some answers. There must be some somewhere. Maybe you have them. Maybe. So my name is Mike. Michael Collins. I'm a website designer. Well, I was, I guess. I guess there's no more internet, right? Hopefully it'll be back, though. I'm 23 years old and I live here in Watertown. I have all of my life. I'm single, and it looks like I might remain single for a long time. That's not really funny. Hopefully I'll find other people soon. I can't be the only one left. But if I do, or if I don't, I'll have this written record. I dragged about 50 sled loads of stuff down here today. The inside of the market is really beginning to smell bad. No, really bad. And I found more bodies also. 2 today. I've been concentrating on canned stuff, trying to make sure I don't get sick. There is a lot of it, and I have a lot of it here now. I heard dogs today, and not far away either. And there were paw prints in the supermarket, and something had been at the bodies. The dogs, I suppose. I was kind of leery of going in, but they weren't there. And had they been, they probably would have been as afraid of me as I was of them. But I was also wondering, were they dogs? Wolves? I mean, don't they sound the same? Leave the same sort of tracks? Maybe not to someone who knows. Maybe not to someone who knows what to look for in the tracks. But to me they looked like dog tracks. And the bodies I found had been partially eaten. Something was eating them. Dogs, wolves. I didn't know. But I knew I had to be careful. That got me thinking about the zoo. What happened to all the animals there? So I walked out State Street, but I couldn't get all the way up into the park. The road's gone. In fact, the whole park area seems to be gone. No trees, just raw earth. So I turned back around and came back. I don't think anything could have lived through that. But lions, wolves, bears, there are a few new things to worry about, right? Can a lion even survive in the winter? I don't know. But I walked back from my trip to the park a lot faster than I walked up there. But, I was saying, I heard dogs, or wolves. I heard them, and if they lived, other people had to live, right? And a few times now I felt that I was being watched. You know, that feeling you get? Well, I've gotten it a few times in the last few days. I still haven't seen anyone, though. I've called out a few times, but no one has answered. I haven't seen other footprints, but it's been a little warmer and the snow has melted. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And they could also walk where I've been walking, in which case I wouldn't see their tracks. But they should have no trouble finding me. I'm not trying to hide or be careful about the tracks I leave. I don't know if that's good or not. I've been thinking about that as well. I'm not much for guns. I've never shot a pistol or a rifle or gone hunting. But I'm thinking of walking back out Arsenal Street. There were a few sporting goods stores out there. I even took a few things from one of them the other day, but I didn't think about guns at the time. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. A weird thing did happen today. I was being careful, making sure there were no dogs or wolves or whatever in the store. Looking around, I was up at the front where the payphones are. There was a time when people used things like payphones. These were still there from that time, and one of them rang. As soon as it did, the other 2 there rang as well. Only a little jangle. It didn't last more than a second, but it scared the crap out of me. I thought I was dead right there. For some reason, I thought the wolves had sneaked up on me, come up behind me, and were about to get me. Don't ask me how I got wolves from a ringing phone, but I did. But I calmed down after a few minutes, and so I walked over and picked up the nearest receiver. Static. Scratchy static. Then it cleared for a second, and it was probably just my nerves, but I could swear I heard someone there. Well, maybe not heard. I don't know if I heard anything at all. It was more like I knew someone was there. You know what I mean? Like when you get a crank call and the person doesn't speak, but you know that they're there anyway. Like that. Exactly like that. But then it went right back to scratchy static, and I felt stupid for even thinking it at all. Who could have been there? Who would know I was there? It was just nerves. I know it was. After I got everything back to this cave, I organized it. I brought back a lot of stuff. I have to work my way over to some other aisles. I need rice, pasta, maybe some instant potatoes. I started on that today. I got partway through the end cap, but the whole roof seems to be resting on that part of the aisle stands. And it's the same way on the other end. And that was when I found the bodies. It was so bad I couldn't tell what they had been. I thought it might be better to go through the aisle dividers. They are solid steel, though, and I can't see any way through them short of a set of torches. Maybe I could find a set, but it seems as though it would be easier to start from the checkouts and work my way through the piles of stuff until I hit another aisle. I have no idea what each aisle is, though. What might be in it? Yeah, I've been there about 1,000 times before all this happened, and I can tell you where the beer and chips would be, paper plates, disposable forks and spoons, but that's about it. And I'd really hate to spend 5 hours or more digging through the aisle just to reach the toilet paper and sanitary napkins in aisle 4. That would be my luck. But there's nothing to do for it except to do it, or go find a set of torches. I know I need carbs. Canned meat and vegetables are good, but very low carbs. It's funny, but I need fat, things I'm burning heavy and need to replace. I had nearly constant exercise. My pants are hanging off me. Who knew it could be this easy to lose weight? I'd also like to find supplements. A good selection of first aid stuff, vitamins, Band-Aids, disinfectant, things like that. I guess that's the next little bit of my time mapped out for me. Other things I'm looking for. A wind-up watch. Should work, right? An old car or truck without an electronic brain. My hope is that if it's just a simple distributor spark arrangement with a carburetor, I should be able to get it to work. I think electronics are shot. They don't work, that's for sure. But I could be wrong. Maybe they will in time. A battery-powered TV. Maybe there would be a station on. I know it's a long shot. Everything is digital. Do they even make battery-powered digital televisions? A CB or ham radio. That would let me listen to the state, maybe the world. I should be able to reach someone. And last, I'm going to check every phone I come across, just in case. It's early, but I'm tired. I wish I weren't alone.
Thanks for joining in. See you next week.